Yes, welcome now to Secondary School Mathematics Lectures, and this year I'm Osman from Senior Free Yellow. We are going to be diving in. As we can see that the logo is Gumiti logo Edisha Takati. So we are going to be diving to Mathematics Senior 1. Yes. So the question is for 1 hour 30 minutes, and it's like Mr. Sempebwa works as a sales agent in a cement manufacturing company. He is paid a basic monthly salary of 180,000 Ugandan shillings. He is also paid 400 Ugandan shillings for every 20 bags of cement he sells. He sold 400 bags of cement in a month of June. Out of his total income, he decides to save 20% every month and shares the 10% of it among his 4 children, the ratio of 2 to 3 to 4 to 1. According to their ages, so he shares the money, 10% of the income, in the ratio of 2 to 3 to 4 to 1, and is according to the number of the ages of the children. So the oldest children receives the highest amount of money. So the oldest one is 4 because 4 is the highest ratio, and his daily expenses are 20,000 Ugandan shillings. The rest of the money is invested into the family business. So this is like a scenario which we are going to be solving, and let's see the questions. So the questions are all from the professor's summary. We're having that he sells 25 bags of cement. So if he sells that 25 bags of cement, he gets the profit, which is 400 Ugandan shillings. And as we can see, and he sold 500 bags. So after selling 500 bags, how much profit he made, we don't know, but we're going to find out. And he saves 20% of his income, and he shares 10% to the children, to 4 children, in the ratio of 2 to 3 to 4 to 1. So the daily expense is 20,000. So to find out which questions this number requires, you have to know different things, and this may be like the questions which says that how much money is invested into the family business every month. So this is the question: how much money is invested into the family business every month? And the next question is work out how much money the youngest child gets. Yes, how much the youngest child gets. Remember, we're having the ratio of 2 to 3 to 4 to 1. So we need to find out the money the youngest child gets. And as a mathematics students advise Mr. Sempebwa how best he can plan his expenses. So let's begin and see how we can answer this scenario step by step. So how much money does he invest into the family business every month? This is the first question. But before finding money invested, we must see the income he earned after selling the 500 bags, the amount he spent on savings, the daily expenses, and the share among the children. So after finding this, then we can be able to know or to find out how much is invested in the family business. So step 1 is that we are going to work out Mr. Sempebwa's total monthly income. How much did he earn? So, but first of all, you have the basic salary. This is the salary which he receives no matter he sells what or how many bags of cement. This is the fixed, yes, the fixed, or the number of amount which does not change no matter how many bags of cement he sells, and it is 180 Ugandan shillings. So this money does not change no matter how he sells, how much, it is fixed regardless of any sales. So you have to know that that one does not going to change, so it remains constant. And we see that the next thing is that, wow, I like these visuals. So step 1 is work out this simplifies total monthly income, and the basic salary is fixed, which is 180 Ghana shillings, but a commission His commission is got by after selling 25 bags, remember. So we're going to find out the commission he sold, because in June they told us he sold like 400 bags from the summary. So we need to find out the commission he made on those 400 bags. So we say that he earns 400 Uganda shillings for every 25 bags sold. Think of it like a bundle rate. So in every bundle of 25 bags, he earns 400 Ugandan shillings, 400,000 Ugandan shillings. So for every full bundle of 25 bags, he earns one payment of 400,000 Ugandan shillings. So we need to find out how many bundles he sold in the 400 bags. And here we come that he sold 400 bags in June, and we find out how many bundles that fit in 400 bags. So remember that each bundle he receives 400,000 shillings, but he sold 400 bags. So we need to find how many bundles he sold. So we get the number of bundles, and we say that the number of bundles equals to 400 divided by 25. So remember that the total of bags were 400, and when we divide this 400 by 25, we can get the number of bundles he sold, and the number of bundles is 16. So after getting the number of bundles, we know that each bundle costs, or each bundle they give him 400,000 Uganda shillings. So we multiply the 16 times 400, and we get 6,400,000 Ugandan shillings. But this one does not answer the question. It does not answer the question. We have just got the commission. So the commission is that he gets 6,400,000 Ugandan shillings. The next thing after finding the commission will be to working it on paper. So after that explanation on our paper, we say that we are going to find out the commission and commission earned on 400 bags. So one bundle equals 400,000 Uganda shillings, and the number of bundles is sold. So 400 divided by 25 bags and 16 bundles, and the commission earned on the 16 bundles, it is 16 times 400,000 Uganda shillings, which is 6,400,000 Uganda shillings. So this is like, how do we write it on paper? Because we have been explaining it, and now we are working it out. So the next thing after finding this will be to the total income for June. So remember that on June he sold 400 and we got the commission he got. So to find out the total income for June, we get total income. Yes, we get total income, which is equal to basic salary plus commission. So we get basic salary plus commission, and the basic salary is the fixed amount which he gets every month, no matter what, and the commission is the price which we have got earlier. So we get total income equals 1,800,000 shillings plus 6,400,000 shillings, and the total income is 6,580,000 shillings. So this is the total income for the month of June only. We have added the basic salary, which is fixed, and the commission, which changes according to the number of bags he sells. So this 6,580,000 Ugandan shillings is the whole cake that everything else, the savings, the children's share, the expenses, the business investments, gets to cut off. So everything is cut off from this amount. So now we need to find out how much money is invested into the family business. But finding that out, we need to go to working it on paper and first write out the total income. So total income is equal to basic salary plus commission, and total income equals 1,800,000 Uganda shillings plus 6,500,000 Uganda shillings, which is 6,580,000 Ugandan shillings. And the next thing will be to answer our question that how much money is invested in the family business every month. And to find this, we subtract everything else he spends or sets aside from the total income. So we are finished to find out the total income. Yes, we are finished to get our total income, which is 6,580,000 shillings and we are going to subtract. Yes, we're going to subtract everything else he spends or sets aside from total income. And there are 4 things using up his money. Yes, and these things are the savings. Yes, remember that he saves 20% and 10% in the children's share, and the daily expenses, and the rest is the family or the business investments. So we're going to find out the savings, the children's share, and the daily expenses, and we subtract them and we see the remaining to go in the business investments. So the savings of 20% of the income, we get 20 out of 100 times the total income. Yes, this is the total income. So we are going to get the number of savings. And remember, 20% of the total income. So 20% of the total income is 20% of the total income equals 0.20. Where do we get this 0.20? So 0.20 is got by that 20 we divide 20 with 100 because we are in percentage and it is 20. It is 20%. So when we divide 20 by 100, we get 0.20. And 0.20 is what we get, and we multiply it by total income to get the amount of money he saves, the 20% of money which is saved from the total income. And this is 1,316,000 Ugandan shillings. So this amount is what he saves, and we put it aside. So we need to work this on paper, and we say that savings is 20 divided by 100 times 6,581,000 shillings, which is equal to 0.20 times 6,581,000 shillings, and which gives us the savings money. And this is 1,316,000 shillings. So the next thing will be to find out all the shared. The children, they get 10% of the total income. So we need to find out the 10% of the total income. Remember that we have just find out the savings. So to find out this, we get 10 out of 100 times 6,581,000 shillings. So 10 out of 100 is like the shares. 10% is 10 out of 100 times the total income of times total income, which is 6,581,000 shillings, and which gives us 0.10 times 6,581,000 shillings, and which gives us a total of 658 Ugandan shillings. So we will split this later in question B, but this one says that the amount which is shared in the children, the 4 children, is 658 Ugandan shillings. So after getting that, the next thing is working it on paper and say the amount shared among children. Yes, amount shared among children, which is 10 out of 100 times 6,581,000 shillings, which is equal to 0.10 times 6,581,000 shillings. So the 6 million, we remember that it is the total income, and we got this one by getting the basic salary plus the commission. And getting the commission, remember that he sold the 600 bags. 600 bags, we got that one bundle which he sells to get this income. So the number of bundles he sold, we divided the bags with the basic bags to get for each bundle, and we got 16 bundles. And so the commission we multiplied, and we got 6,400,000 shillings. So this was only the commission, 6,400,000 shillings, and we added it with the basic salary to get this money. So on savings was 20% of this money, saving 20% of the income. According to the question, it is 20% of the income. Yes, let us see the question and we see the question. Yes, let us see the question, and the question says that how much money is invested into the family business every month, and work out how much money the youngest child gets. As our first students, I advise Mr. Sempebwa how best he can plan his expenses. And in the question we have, Mr. Sempebwa works as a sales agent in a cement manufacturing company. He's paid a basic monthly salary of, so this one is basic. Every month he receives 1,800 Ugandan thousand shillings, and he also paid 400 Ugandan shillings for every 25 bags of cement, and he sold 400 bags, which means that 25, when we divide it by 400, we get 16, and 16 we multiply it by the each bundle of 25, we get 6,400,000 Ugandan shillings, and this was like the amount he made only in June. Yes, that's what the amount only he made in June. So out of his total income which he made in June for that month, he decides to save 20% every month. So 20% is saved every month, and shares 10% of it. 10% of it, 20% of the total income to the children, and 20% of the total income is going to be saved. While the eldest child receives the highest amount of money, his daily expenses are 20,000 Ugandan shillings or 20k. So we need now to go to see where we had stopped. Yes, we're going to go where we had stopped, and we'll find out so we're going to find out the shares among the children, and we're going to find out the daily expenses. So remember that each day he spends 20 you got 20k or 20 Ghana shillings. So this means that we need to multiply it by 30 days. So in June we have only 30 days, so we multiply the amount he spends daily, which is 20k or 20,000 shillings per day, and June has 30 days, so the monthly expense is equal to 20,000 Ugandan shillings times 30 days, which is equal to 600 Ugandan shillings. So on that month in June he spent 600,000 Ugandan shillings, and when we move on and we see to the next section is that working it on paper continued. So this is the continuing of the paper. The daily expenses equals monthly expense, which is that 20k times 30 days, which is 600 Ugandan shillings. Hope we are together. So now we find the remainder. This is the business investments. So to find out the remainder of the business investments, we get the business investment equals total income which we got minus the savings which we have now, the 20% of the total income, and the children's rate, which is 10% of the total income, and the daily expenses, which is the 20k times 30 days. So the business investment is equal to the total income. We subtract the savings, we subtract the children's share, and we subtract the daily expenses. So the business investment remains at the business investment is 4,006,000. So from all the calculations, we have finished to answer now item 1, which says that the business investment is 4,006,000. So working it on paper will be like family business investments, whereby family business investment equals total income minus savings minus children's share minus daily expenses, and we have finished to work out all of these. Total income, we have it. This is the statistical math plus the commission, the savings, which is 20% of the total income, the children's rate, which is 10% of the total income, and the daily expenses, which are the 20k times 30 days. So the family business investments, we remember that we subtracted the total income and the numbers, the savings, the share, and the daily expenses, and we got 4,006k or 6,000. So question B says that how much does the youngest child get? And so the money which is shared in the children is 658,000. So we remember that we got 10% of the income and got this number, which shows the amount which is shared in the children. So when set aside for the children, and the ratio of the children is 2 to 3 to 4 to 1. So who do you think is the youngest one? Absolutely, it is 1. So the total ratio, we first find the total ratio, which is 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 1, which is 10. And to find the value of part 1 of one part of the ratio, which is the youngest child, because I find out the youngest child, how much did he or she got. So we get 1 out of 10 total ratio, and we multiply it by the amount which is shared among the children, and we get 65,800 Ugandan shillings. So this is the amount which the youngest child got. And the next thing is that we will work this on paper to be the same. And part C says that advice to Mr. Sempebwa on planning his expenses. So this is like other mathematics students, what can we advise Mr. Sempebwa? And we say that he is already saving well 20% of his income, which is 1,316,000 per month, goes on saving. This is healthy habit and roughly matches recommended saving guidelines of 10 to 20% of the income. So the next advice we give Mr. Sempe was that he to track the fixed versus the variable income separately. Where the fixed monthly salary, we know it, and the variable income separate, because the variable income for it changes, but the fixed monthly salary does not change. So you need to track them differently, because not at every time you'll be making profits. So his commission was 6,500, which is far larger than the basic salary, and depends on how many bags he sells. He should budget his fixed essentials expenses like the children's allowance and the daily cost against his basic salary, plus a conservative or an average commission estimate, not his best math in case the sales drop in future month. So the next advice we give Mr. Sempebwa is to build an emergency fund from part of the business investments portion. In case of math comes where he sells far fewer bags, e.g. he sells only 100 bags, commission will fall to 1.6 million Ugandan shillings, plus shrinking total income. So that is the advice. So as we conclude our video, we would like to continue by giving you the practice questions. And the practice questions are: what percentage of his income is spent on daily expenses? So this is the question which I'm leaving with you guys. And before we end, let us first see the questions. The next question is: what is the combined share of the two eldest children? So what is the combined share after finding the amount the two eldest children get? What is their combined share? You're going to find them out. And what fraction of his total income is invested in the business? So we're going to find out the fraction of total income is in the business. And if he sold 500 bags instead of 400, what would his new total income be? And how much money remains after savings and children's share only before the expenses? So these are the questions I'm going to be leaving with you guys, and you can answer them on in our WhatsApp group, and we'll see how we can practice these questions and to know more about this number, senior one number. And we would like to see you soon in the next video. We are going to be talking about physics, chemistry in different playlists. I remain Chirang Osman. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. And as you can see, today is 17th. Today is 7th. Yes, 7th June 2026, and this is slide number 25. See you soon. BUWAMBO Secondary School. Education is right.